What's going on, Copper fam? Although I've never actually met you, so you're more like distant cousins. This is Copper 90's top 10 players who have never won the Champions League. Cesc Fabregas. During his time with Arsenal, Barcelona and now Chelsea, Cesc Fabregas has been a part of many impressive European runs, without getting his hands on that famous Champions League trophy. The closest Fabregas got to winning the competition was the 2006 Champions League final, where he and Wenger's Arsenal fell at the final hurdle to his boyhood club, Barcelona. Fast forward to 2017, and Cesc is set to join the 100 club for appearances in the competition, and he's still waiting to add the trophy to his impressive collection. Michael Ballack. When it comes to missing out on a Champions League triumph in dramatic fashion, Michael Ballack knows a thing or two. Many great players know how it feels to lose a Champions League final, but not many have experienced it twice at two different clubs. While losing the 2008 final against Manchester United on penalties must have been tough for Ballack, he's been through it all 6 years prior. Runners-up in the Bundesliga and German Cup in 2002, 2002 UEFA Midfielder of the Year, and German Football of the Year, Ballack was desperate not to be second best again. He was though, and we don't judge him for that. Zidane's incredible volley made sure Ballack's Leverkusen finished second once again in 2002. Oh, and he was second best once again months later with Germany in the World Cup. Don't worry Ballack, you'll always be my #1 German. Next to Klopp. Ruud boy Van Nistelrooy! Who are the greatest ever Champions League goal scorers? Ronaldo, Messi and Raul. After these three comes Ruud van Nistelrooy. The Manchester United and Real Madrid goal machine scored an astonishing 56 Champions League goals in just 73 appearances and was still unable to lift the trophy. Some blame his little arms. As a result of his Champions League tally, Ruud van Nistelrooy has earned the unwanted record of greatest Champions League goal scorer to have never won the competition. Pavel Nedved. In 2003, Ballon d'Or winner Pavel Nedved looked destined to lead Juventus to the Champions League crown. That was until Steve McManaman ruined it all in the semi-final. Picture the scene. Pavel Nedved has just scored a world-class goal that would eventually send Juventus to the Champions League final. Everything was looking great for the old lady. That was until Nedved decided to hack down McManaman and get himself suspended for the final. As a result, the most exciting player in the world in 2003 had to watch his team lose to Milan on penalties in a rather dull final. Germany's most capped player of all time, Lothar Matthaus, came as close as anyone on this list to becoming a Champions League winner. In 1999, after Basler's early goal in the 6th minute, it looked like the 1991 European Player of the Year would have a Champions League medal to add to his collection. That was until Fergie brought on Sheringham and Solskjaer, and we all know what happened next. After giving up on winning the Champions League trophy in 2000, Matthaus retired from football. The following season, guess who won the Champions League? Matthaus! No, it was Bayern. Fabio Cannavaro. Fabio Cannavaro was the rock and leader of Italy's successful World Cup campaign in 2006. He became only the third ever defender to win the Ballon d'Or and played for European giants Inter, Juventus and Real Madrid, so success in Europe was inevitable, right? Wrong. The Berlin Wall, as Cannavaro was nicknamed by Italians after the 2006 World Cup, was unable to ever lift the Champions League trophy and remarkably only ever reached one Champions League semi-final, losing out to arch-rivals AC Milan during his time with Inter. LILIAN THURAM. Yes, another ex-Juventus player. After a World Cup winners' medal, a Champions League semi-final with Wenger at Monaco, and a UEFA Cup victory with Parma in 1999, it seemed inevitable that LILIAN THURAM would take the next step and win a Champions League at some stage. And while he went on to have one of the most illustrious careers of any fullback, the closest he ever got to a Champions League winners' medal was keeping out Milan for an agonising 120 minutes. Only to watch teammates including Trezeguet blow it from 12 yards in the shootout in the same 2003 final that Nedved watched from the stands. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Whilst he might have played for more European powerhouses than any player still currently playing, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is still yet to win a Champions League. Crazy, right? With spells at Ajax, Juventus, Inter, Barcelona, Milan, PSG and Man United, it seems almost impossible to believe, but it's true. It's even more incredible when you look at his Champions League stats. Zlatan has scored an impressive 49 Champions League goals in his 119 Champions League appearances, which also makes him the player with the most Champions League appearances without winning the competition. Ronaldo. Honestly, it's true. The man who's named the best player in the world in 1997 and 2002 didn't win the Champions League. It's crazy to think that a player of Ronaldo's stature who could ruin defences week in, week out was unable to win Europe's elite competition. While Ronaldo had spells at top European clubs like PSV, Inter, Barcelona, Madrid and Milan, he was not only unable to win a Champions League, but shockingly only managed to score 16 Champions League goals. That's as many as Kostas Mitroglou. Just let that sink in. Gianluigi Buffon. After 1,000 professional games, Gianluigi Buffon has racked up endless records and titles. 39-year-old Gigi has 10 Serie A titles, 4 Coppa Italias, 1 UEFA Cup and 1 World Cup to his name, but the Champions League has always slipped through his fingers like a hot dog sausage in an overly cut bun. The 2017 final was the 3rd time in Buffon's career that he's fallen at the final hurdle and is 2nd in 3 seasons. In those 2 finals, the ever-strong Juventus wall has crumbled, conceding a combined 7 goals as Buffon continues to dream of lifting the trophy. After deciding to sign a 1-year extension, it seems Italy's most capped player will have one last shot at finally winning the elusive Champions League. That was the top 10 players who never won a Champions League.